Look, we're all writers, right? Every single day. But how often does that thing you send, that email, that text, actually land the way you want it to? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on three hidden forces that can take your writing from just words on a screen to something that actually connects, something that matters. Oh, you know the feeling. You pour your heart into a message, you hit send, and then nothing. Crickets. Or even worse, the whole thing gets totally misunderstood. It's a universal feeling, and it is incredibly frustrating.
We have all been there. But what if I told you there's a secret to making sure that doesn't happen? See, the thing is, great writing, it's not some kind of magic. It's a skill. And we're going to break down exactly how it works. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. The best communicators, they aren't just lucky or born with some special gift. Nope, they are intentional. They actually think before they type, making these really deliberate, strategic choices about every single word. And those choices, well, they're guided by three, let's call them hidden forces. We're going to call it the PAC framework. That's purpose, audience, and context. Seriously, if you can master these three things, you will master your message. So let's dive into that first one, shall we? All right, first up, purpose. You got to think of this as the North Star for your writing. It's that one single guiding light that should direct every single word, every sentence, every paragraph you put together. And we need to get really clear on what purpose actually is. It's not just, to get this assignment done. It's about the real-world effect you want your words to have. What do you really want your reader to think or feel, or better yet, do after they've finished reading? And you can see this in action everywhere. The purpose completely changes the final product. So if your goal is to inform, like a journalist, what do? You prioritize clarity, your objective. But if you want to persuade someone in, say, a marketing email, you're going to focus on the benefits, right? You're going to make it compelling. And for a research paper, the style becomes super rigorous, formal. See? The goal always dictates the style. This is so important. It means you have to avoid a vague purpose. I mean, discuss climate change. What does that even mean? It's just a topic. It's not a goal. But convince fellow students their actions matter. That is a purpose. It's specific, it's active, and it immediately tells you what you need to say, and just as important, what you can leave out. Okay, so that's purpose. Next up, our second hidden force, audience. And this is all about a huge mindset shift. You have to stop writing into a void and start writing for a real specific person. You're not just writing for anyone, you're writing for someone. And to do that right, you gotta ask yourself some tough questions. Who is this person? What do they already know about this? What are their hopes, their fears, their expectations? Building this clear mental picture of your reader, it is absolutely critical. Just think about it. Think about how dramatically your own writing changes based on who you're talking to. An update for your boss, it's going to be formal, professional, probably packed with data. But explaining that same exact topic to, say, a classroom of young students, you're going to be way more conversational, right? You'll use stories and simple steps, not spreadsheets. The audience literally determines everything. All right, so we've got purpose and audience. The final piece of the puzzle, our third force, is context. This is, well, it's the situation, the environment. It's the whole universe surrounding your words when your audience finally reads them. It's the where and the when. And context has a bunch of different layers. You've got the medium itself. I mean, an email just has different rules and expectations than a formal academic paper. Then there's the cultural background of your reader, what's happening in the news right now, and even the bigger historical moment we're all living in. All of these things shape how your message is going to land. Here's a perfect example. Imagine you wrote an essay about the economy. The exact same words, written in 2008 during the financial crisis, would land with this sense of urgency, maybe even fear. But today, those very same words might be read through a totally different lens, maybe one of growth or inflation or something else entirely. Context is like the invisible ink that gives our words their final, true meaning. So there you have it, our three forces: purpose, audience, and context. PAC. Now, the real magic happens when you see how they all work together, how they influence each other in a real-world scenario. So let's take a pretty straightforward topic, something we can all wrap our heads around: the benefits of renewable energy. Seems simple, right? It's a broad subject, but just watch what happens when we apply our PAC framework. Okay, this is where it all clicks into place. Look at scenario A. You're writing a college paper. What's your purpose? To inform your professor and show off your research skills. Your audience? That professor.
The context? It's a graded assignment. So what's the result? A comprehensive, formal, heavily cited paper. Totally makes sense. Now look at scenario B. Same topic, renewable energy, but your purpose is totally different. You need to persuade a group of skeptical voters at a really heated town hall meeting. The result? No way is it a formal paper. It's an urgent, passionate speech that focuses on things they care about, like local jobs, and directly addresses their specific concerns. The topic is identical, but PAC changes absolutely everything.
Okay, so we've walked through the theory, it all makes sense, but how do we turn this into a practical tool, something you can actually use every single time you write? This is it. This is your new pre-writing ritual. Before you type a single word, just stop and ask yourself these 3 simple questions. 1, what is the one specific thing I want to achieve? That's your why. 2, who exactly am I trying to reach and what do they care about? That's your who. And 3, where and when are they going to be reading this? That's your where and when. And this simple act, it's a game changer. That scary blank page that's so intimidating, suddenly it's not so bad. You're not just guessing anymore. You have a plan. You are moving from a place of intimidation to a place of pure intention. And that's the key takeaway here. The PAC framework isn't just another set of rigid rules to memorize. It's a way of thinking. It empowers you to make smarter, more thoughtful, more strategic choices no matter what it is you're writing. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The very next time you sit down to write anything, I don't care if it's a huge report, an email, or even just a simple text, pause just for a second and find your 3 clear answers. Because knowing your purpose, your audience, and your context, well, that's the real secret to making your words matter.